Hey folks, I'm Pravas. I spent 20 years in QA across telcos and massive legacy stacks, and I've lost too many FITs to flaky tests and broken builds.
And I'm Stitha, the one who decided Pravash deserves better weekends. So I'm the tech hub of AutoBIQ.
So AutoBIQ stands for Automated Built-in Quality, a no-code AI platform test automation built for speed, scale, and precision. Here's the real problem we solve. Every new feature brings with it a testing TDS, scripts, fragile scenarios, and hours of rework.
So with AutoBIQ, we killed the tags. With AutoBIQ, you just drop a single English frame test case, very similar to how you would explain a real person. And then our AutoBIQ agents navigate through your application and auto-generates the right test case automation for your application based on your requirements. No codes, no config.
We call it just in time automation. Tests are generated exactly when your code or even just your user story lands, and they evolve as your code does.
So this is AutoBIQ. And once you enter the AutoBIQ dashboard, you enter into this application page. So what applications are is for any onboarded company or an organization, they would have multiple applications that they would like to test. So for this scenario, I've created some applications already. And what you can do in this page is you can add applications where you would enter an application name, the description, and if your application is behind a firewall, you can enable something called Secure Connect. And what we do with Secure Connect is start a tunnel to your application, and then you can give fine-grained access to users. Okay, so now let's go to the application that we have created. So initially when you have a new application, you start with this BYOT, and what it means is bring your own tools. So what we realize is every company has their own workflows and tool stacks, and we don't want you to move away from that just because you're using our tool. We give you integrations with all of these tech stacks that you might already use in your day-to-day workflow. We give you an option to choose any kind of language models that you use. We also give you integrations with GitHub, Jira, and any kind of ticketing system. And if your application requires any sort of authentication, we have a state-of-the-art encrypted secret manager. And with this, you just say that, okay, this is my username, password that I need to enter in my application to do my testing. We can handle all of that as well. So once all of these backend is set up, we start with the requirements itself. So our entire application is based around the requirement or tied into the requirement. So all these test cases that you see are created either by an AI component or AI and subject matter experts together. So you get a large test coverage. If you see any of these test cases, these are very simple English descriptions. And this is as simple as you explaining it to somebody. And AutoBIQ agent actually looks at this test case, and also it uses the intelligence to understand the UI components and figure out a way to execute this in the real UI. And once you have these test cases, you come to this task and execution tab. And what this task and execution tab does is it gives you a mechanism to run multiple test cases at once. So in this case, we just select maybe 3, and then you can click on run test. Every test cases that is run is tied into a build number, so that we can understand for that build that particular test failed, passed, or all of these kind of scenarios. And then you can also add some custom group labels, like in this case let's add smoke, and then you can either schedule for later or run now. If you run now, it creates multiple executions which are concurrently run. Let's look at something that it has already executed. So what it will do is it will give you an overview of what it looks at. So this is the view what AutoBIQ looks at. It goes into the UI, understands each and every scenarios like this, where it is looking at interactive elements. These logs help you understand what it exactly has done in these multiple steps, and also it is intelligent enough to figure its way around the UI, because all you are giving it is. And we provide two views. One is a global view where it looks at the end-to-end run, and also if you want to break it down, each of the steps can be looked into and with the screenshot, so that you have proper documentation of what exactly is happening with your application and what is AutoBIQ agent doing. And in any of this run, if AutoBIQ figures that there is a bug, then it comes up with this kind of an icon. And what it does is it will just show you exactly where the bug occurred, in which step it occurred, and also gives you a method to triage it. So once this triage item is created, this is essentially a ticket that can be pushed either to Jira or GitHub or any of these ticket management platforms. And from there, it can be addressed or assigned to the proper developers to take care of it. And then we have this status page. The status tab essentially shows you a holistic view of what's happening with your application. So as we saw, execution is near instant. AutoBIQ runs parallel test cases and posts results to the desired communication channel, in this case Slack, or it may be synced directly with your ticketing system like GitHub or Jira. And when something breaks, we don't leave your developers guessing. Each fail step triages back to the exact requirement it came from and the exact section that the test case failed. And that's your complete tour of AutoBIQ, from sign in to integration, test planning, execution, and triage. Thanks.